Hi there. Yeah, it's Alive and Active. I'm trying to launch myself off now, and I'm at the top of the hill, St. Catherine's Hill, here in Christchurch. My lovely wife, you can't see, and two doggies are in the background, so they might come across. I thought I'd just start by just sharing a little bit about myself, my own spiritual journey. Obviously, this channel's a little bit going to be very much going to be aimed at just sharing my faith a little bit, my understanding, trying to help people along in their progress as well. And maybe it helped just to sort of kick it off, really, in a sense, with sharing my story. So I was actually born in Canada, Vancouver. You might not have known that. Um, so that was my starting, which is great. My mum sort of just decided to travel. She left home from England, got a boat and traveled around, and ended up getting to Vancouver and met my to be dad there, and that's where I was born, in Vancouver. But by the time of three or so, 3, 4, I'd sort of separated. I'm not separated, but my mum had separated from my dad, and we were sort of heading across to the east coast then of Canada, eventually getting to Toronto, and eventually getting back to England. By the time of 9, I was 9 years old when I came back to England. I've pretty well been in England ever since, but had a mum who was an alcoholic and who ended up with slight brain damage. So I was being brought up with those sorts of difficulties with my mum. I was fortunate with my gran, she was English and lived nearby. She helped us sort my mum out quite a bit and find a place to stay, and also sent me off to boarding school. So I was fortunate to do that. And it's sort of in between that sort of time coming back, getting to know some friends. I got involved with the Christian Science Church, which is another sort of cult, offshoot, a heresy off of Christianity. But I was starting to go along to Christian Science Church, and the lady there, the mum, I was with a friend called Damien, who was a good mate of mine, and we were going to this church in Camberley where I was living. Um, but the mum was going to be moving on, and so she decided to put me in touch with another church, which was nothing to do with Christian Scientists, but it's called St. Paul's. It was an Anglican church on the hill in Camberley, and before I knew it, I was there, and I got to know Robin and Barbara. Robin was the main vicar, was the vicar of there, and Barbara was just a lovely lady. She was German, and she took me under her wing, and she looked after me really well. And yeah, she was great. And it was during that period of time that I got into the youth fellowships. I got to know about Christianity a lot more. I got to know about Jesus a lot more, and had lots of Christian friends. And we went along to a concert one night. Larry Norman, rock concert it was. He had long blonde hair, leather jacket. I didn't know anything about him before. He sung good rock music, and I just listened to him and his story in between his songs of how Christ had affected him. And at the best part of that, at the end of that concert, so when the guitars were twanging and the smoke was going up, I decided to ask Jesus into my life. And that was my sort of starting block. Ironically, I had a guy called Cliff Richard just sat right behind me. Some of you might know him, and I'm sure he would have been praying for me at that time. And I told my mate Jim at the time what I'd done, and everyone seemed really excited. And I was like, well, I don't know. But that was it. So that was the start of my life. And I suppose I'll continue with bits and bobs of other things there, but that's the starting point of that. And this channel, I really want to just to encourage people on their spiritual journey, wherever that might be, to direct people, to equip people by various things. So I hope you're having a great weekend. This is a lovely day up at the hill there. You can see a waggy dog in the background, and I'll look forward to speaking to you next week. So I plan to do this every Friday. That's going to be the plan. Thanks. Bye for now.